Broadcasting live and around the world. From Cabana One, the only podcast that's all ball bearings. Your ultimate source for everything Fletch.
Moon River. Whew. Thank you, Doc. You ever serve time?
Laker Jim and his beat reporters will stop at nothing to make sure Fletch lives forever. They don't shower much. This is FletchCast.
Thank you, Sammy, and welcome back, Fletch fans, to part 2 of the recasting episode of Fletch. I'm your host, Laker Jim. Now let's jump right back into the action. If you haven't heard part 1 yet, you're going to want to listen to that first. We recast Fletch with actors from 1985. In this episode, we're recasting the movie with actors from today. So let's rejoin Jake, Bob, and myself as we jump back into this podcast already in progress. All right, Fletch fans, we're back, and we're ready to recast a current version of the 1985 Fletch.
We're sticking with the 1985 movie, but we're casting it with modern 2000 and actors.
Correct. All right, guys, let's start back at the top.
Right.
Our main character of Fletch.
All right.
Who in today's modern era are you casting for the original Fletch?
So it's no secret to anyone who listens to this podcast, no secret to me or Jake, that sometimes Laker Jim doesn't really know a lot of the modern actors. That's okay. You know, he's a dead eye when it comes to the 80s people, as you heard earlier. But the modern recast, I went with someone who is an actor, writer, director. You've seen him in Thor Ragnarok and the other Avengers movies. You saw him in Jojo Rabbit, Free Guy. He recently was a IG-11 in the Mandalorian series and directed some of those as well. I went with Taika Waititi.
Wow, that's a crazy pick. I mean, I never thought of that, but he could pull it off.
I'm glad you know who he is.
He's so funny.
Very funny. If you don't know him, you should really watch some of his movies, especially Jojo Rabbit, especially the Thor Ragnarok movie.
Well, he directed, yeah.
Absolutely. I think that he could play, and maybe even direct, I think that he could play this character so well. I think that he has that sexiness to him, also that comedy to him. I think that there's no one else I could think of. I'm sure you guys will come up with great people as well. I know I could think of a few contenders, but I think that he's the perfect Fletch for me. What about you guys?
Yeah, I think that's a great pick. I think that's a nice outside the box choice. I do know who he is because I'm a Star Wars guy and I'm a fan of the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
And I've seen some roundtable things of his, and I think he is very witty and very funny.
Absolutely. Ladies man, everything.
I went with a guy that is not going to blow your doors off.
Oh, it will.
The guy just could not get out of my head because I really would have loved to see modern day Fletch.
I know who you're going to say.
From Ryan Reynolds.
Reynolds. I mean, that's perfect casting. He's perfect for Fletch. Absolutely perfect. Especially the Chevy Chase version.
100%. I mean,
yeah. And I had him between this and my pick, and I thought you might pick him. And I was like, well, I'm going to go with my other pick, who I think, good looking dude, athletic, smart, funny, and could do it. Channing Tatum.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely. And we saw in the 21 Jump Street movies and more recently the movie Dog and everything else he's done, he could play comedy as well as he could play serious.
Right. And again, I'm looking at Fletch's background, former military, was a Marine. So he could definitely have that military background too. So I think he would have been a good pick today.
Just to be clear to John Hamm, who may or may not one day hear this, obviously you're our choice. We just wanted to go. We didn't want to. We purposefully excluded you because we already know you are the new Fletch.
All right, let's keep this moving. Let's go with Stanwyk. Who is the 2022 version of Stanwyk for you guys? Jake, you want to start with this one?
So I went with someone that I thought kind of looked a little bit like Channing Tatum to play off of him. So I picked Matt Damon as Stanwyk.
Matt Damon could play that the bad guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I thought he would be really good.
Talented Mr. Ripley and everything. Yeah,
yes.
I think that he would. He'd be great.
I never took into consideration somebody that would have similar qualities with your Fletch.
Oh, I did.
That was really good.
Because if they're burned up, same bone structure.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, who did you go with, Laker Jim?
And honestly, Jake, I wasn't sure if you would have gone with a blonde Fletch. to stay true to the book.
Yes, stay true to the book. Yeah.
Channing Tatum has, lightish hair sometime. He could light it up.
I went with a blonde Stanwyk in the 80s with Ted McGinley.
Yeah. Oh, very much so.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that's sunning.
And possibly a gray-haired Leslie Nielsen with Fletch. But.
I went with Rob Lowe.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Can't miss.
I think he's a little old for the role, but I think Rob Lowe looks very young. There's no really age to Stanwyk, as long as he's age appropriate with Gail.
Mm-hmm. I like that pick. I think that's a good pick.
I think so as well. I struggled so hard with two people for this one. My runner-up was Jason Sudeikis, Ted Lasso, Hall Pass. Ultimately, I don't think he had the Tim Matheson striking features. So I went with a different person. If you haven't seen the movie Knives Out, this is the movie Knives Out is the reason why I went with this person. His portrayal in that movie would be perfect for Stanwyk, kind of a weaselly, handsome, rich guy. Chris Evans, who also plays Captain America in the.
I like that pick.
Thanks. I feel like, again, doesn't look a lot like Taika Waititi if I'm basing it how we said a moment ago. But if you watch the movie Knives Out, which you should because it's in the vein of Clue, that kind of whodunit kind of deal, worth a watch. I think that he would have been a fantastic, handsome, weaselly, athletic Alan Stanwyk. But you have to see Knives Out to really understand what I'm talking about.
Yeah, nice job. That's solid.
Thank you. What about Gail? Laker Jim?
I tried to pick somebody that I just thought was cute as a button.
Yeah, me too.
Witty and, goes with the flow and
desirable, but cute more than hot.
I went with Kate Hudson.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, I love it. And now I wish I went with Kate Hudson.
That is a really, really solid.
That might be perfect.
Right there. I love that pick.
I could see Ryan Reynolds and Kate Hudson kind of playing really well off each other.
Absolutely. What about you, Jake?
I picked those type of characteristics, very attractive. I went with Margot Robbie.
Okay. Now, I almost went with Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Almost did.
LJ, familiar with Margot Robbie?
Who is Margot Robbie?
Oh.
Okay. She was in Wolf of Wall Street, and she plays...
He's not going to know her from that. Yeah, I'm trying to think what you might know her from.
I'll look her up.
Look her up real quick.
She's probably considered the most gorgeous actress in Hollywood to this day. In modern times, I should say.
Okay, I know who this is. I know who this is. I don't know who she is, but I've seen her.
Harley Quinn. She plays the Harley Quinn character.
Of course, yes.
In Suicide Squad, and
that's what I know her from.
But I thought she would be awesome as Stanwyk, as Gail Stanwyk.
Good pick. That's a really good pick.
Yeah, I think that's perfect.
Yep,
perfect. I'm going to break away from the blonde characters. Laker Jim, you mentioned somebody that had to be cute and desirable. The reason I chose this female is because of how much I fell in love with her while watching Only Murders in the Building. I went with Selena Gomez.
Oh yeah,
I think that she has a great delivery with her speech and the way she acts and everything. And I thought that she would be a wonderful down for the adventure kind of person in this role.
I like it. I like that pick. That's really good.
Who else we got?
Frank.
Want to do Frank?
Oh, we're going back to The Office. Yeah.
Bob, why don't you start with Frank?
Sure. There's only one person I had here. There was no second choice. J.K. Simmons.
Really good.
He played J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. He was in Whiplash. He was in the Batman. He's the Yellow M&M. But more importantly...
The Yellow M&M.
Most famous role.
Yeah. The reason I went with him is because if you haven't seen the Tom Hanks movie Lady Killers, you should. This is more for our audience at home. I know Laker Jim's never seen it. I don't know if Jake has seen it.
I have not.
But the character he plays in Lady Killers, you got to see it, is perfect for the role of Frank. Neurotic. He actually has IBS in the movie, which is kind of funny thinking like he can carry that over with the IBS. Because, you see Frank often down in Alka-Seltzer and eating disgusting food. I thought that J.K. Simmons would be the perfect Frank.
Yeah, he totally looks like he could be in charge of a paper, that kind of. He did that in Spider-Man. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So my pick was someone that I loved in my childhood, but is still doing really good things today. I picked Henry Winkler as Frank.
Fantastic.
I just think he's neurotic. And
you think he could play off the angry?
Yeah, I think he could. I definitely think he could be angry. I just think he would be really funny in that role. An old Henry Winkler.
Maybe to play off the angry, he would handle that the same way he played in Waterboy.
Well, and he's really good in Barry. I don't know if you guys have seen Barry on HBO.
No.
But he's fantastic in that.
I picture him, all right, Fletch, use this anger to go out there and solve this.
Channel it.
Mystery. You channel it.
I went with Paul Giamatti.
Oh my God, that's a
good
great
call.
one.
Damn, he would be another one. He would be another great.
I completely forgot about him. He would have been a good Underhill.
Gillett too.
Yeah.
Well, he's good in everything he's in.
Yeah, I mean, I love Private Parts. I love the way he's screaming at Howard, and I just pictured him screaming at Fletch in the same way.
Yeah. Oh, pig vomit.
Spitting.
Absolutely. I need this report by today.
All right.
Outstanding.
That's great. I think we all hit home runs on that one.
They were all good ones. I could picture them all. All right, so now let's go with Larry.
All right, Larry, I picked someone who I think is kind of got the girl next door. She's funny. She's really good looking. I picked Jennifer Lawrence.
Oh.
You know, I almost went with Jennifer Lawrence. She was my second pick.
She's so awesome, and she's got a great sense of humor if you've seen her, and I think she would play off Fletch really well.
Yes.
Yeah. Also would have been a perfect Gail Stanwyk.
Yeah. Good point.
You know,
I went with somebody who's she's a little out of the age range in 2022 for this character, but I was trying to think of somebody who's a really, kind of like a guy's girl, kind of thing. And my first thought was Cameron Diaz for that part.
Yeah.
I could picture her just being,
yeah,
hey, whatever you need, Fletch, whatever you need, kind of thing.
Like something about Mary, or maybe even Charlie's Angels version of her. Yeah.
Yeah, that version. And then as a kind of a backup, I had Mila Kunis too.
Yes. Yes. I almost had Mila Kunis as well, but then my list would have been like 7 people. So
yeah.
Now for my Larry, I have to really, this is obscure for you, James, because you're, again, we know why, but I'm sure some of the listeners at home will know right away. James, now you've seen the movie Creed and Creed 2, right?
Yes.
Okay. Creed's wife in those movies. She's also in Thor Ragnarok. She plays Valkyrie. She was in Westworld. But most importantly, the way she portrayed her character in Men in Black, the Men in Black International, which didn't do that great, but I just recently saw it for the first time. I actually liked it. Tessa Thompson.
Yeah.
She was my Larry. Again, gorgeous, but also
she's gorgeous.
That down chick who's going to be, along for the ride and do whatever, to help you out. Just, I think that she's the perfect casting for me, at least. And Laker Jim, do you know her from Creed? Does it ring a bell?
No, I just looked her up and I don't really recognize her, but
she's beautiful.
Absolutely. Yeah. That was my choice. Are we going to do Agent Copy Boy on this list or no?
No.
All right.
Do you have somebody for him?
No.
Okay. Let's go with Gillett.
Sure.
I went with Tony Shalhoub, a monk.
Oh my gosh, that is so good.
Man, that's a great call.
That's perfect.
I don't know why I just picture him in the Gillette trench coat showing up.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
My backup was Rob Corddry, who was Hot Tub Time Machine Children's Hospital, but he played the agent trying to arrest Harold and Kumar in the Guantanamo Bay version. But I didn't ultimately go with him. I thought lawyer. You have to go with Bob Odenkirk from Better Call Saul.
Okay.
I think that he could. I think Bob Odenkirk could easily. He's balding. And he could easily be insulted and just kind of close his eyes and take it, sigh, and move along. I thought he was the guy. What about you, Jake?
I had someone that had pretty good range that has that bald look. I went with Woody Harrelson.
Oh, man.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Definitely has the bald look.
Yeah.
Yep.
Woody Harrelson is Gillette. I thought he would play off, older guy. I think he would have played off Channing Tatum pretty well.
Yeah.
Good.
Absolutely.
How about Fat Sam, guys? Let's go with Fat Sam next.
So continuing that Channing Tatum playoff, I have Jonah Hill as Fat Sam.
Wow.
I like that. I like when guys work together.
We are on the same block right now, Jake. Not same character, but we're in the same universe.
Yeah. I just thought Jonah Hill would be perfect as Fat Sam.
Yeah, I agree.
I went with Jack Black.
Oh, another great pick. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I could just picture Jack Black sitting in the chair. He kind of now has like kind of a big beard now. He kind of like a little more disheveled looking.
I love Jack Black.
Again, has that disinterested kind of disposition of when it comes, man.
Right.
Tough shit if you don't like it. For me, this was one of my favorite picks on the entire list. I went with Danny McBride.
Oh, yeah.
He could kill any role.
Kenny Powers
himself. Oh my gosh, he's so funny.
The Pineapple Express kind of character. Well, he's going to be there to facilitate your needs, but also doesn't care if you don't like the weight. I think that he'd be the perfect Fat Sam.
I love him so much. I wish I would have cast him somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
He's not on my list.
Eastbound and Down is so great.
Got to be on your toes when you're recasting against Big Bob. Let's stay with the beach.
All right, Gummy.
Gummy. Oh, go ahead, Jake. You go. No, you go.
You go. Yeah.
Yeah, Jake. Who's going?
You go.
Jake.
I
go.
You go. I went with somebody.
Let's just all go at the same time and see how that works out.
I'm going. I went with Eric Andre.
He's like, I'm going.
Eric
Andre.
I
think that's great. I wish I would have thought of him.
He's very hot right now. He's got the fucked up afro, that Gummy had.
Yeah. It looks a little unkempt at times.
Yeah, I think
together.
I think he could definitely play that beach bum Gummy. I went with Eric Andre.
Absolutely. Jake?
I went with someone who is currently going to be co-starring in the Confess Fletch movie. I went with Roy Wood Jr.
Oh, man. That's a good idea.
So we cross over into the Fletch universe.
Damn, I didn't think of anybody from the current.
Yes, I thought Roy Wood Jr. would be really funny in that. So I have that.
Absolutely brilliant.
Yep.
Bob, what did you do?
Tracy Morgan.
Oh, yeah. I
think that everything Tracy Morgan does, he steals the show. He's hilarious. He'd have the whole, situation of civil unrest on the beach and pissed off about it. He plays that role so well, as we've seen so many times. And I think that he's the guy.
As a backup, I also had Marlon Wayans.
Wow, that's actually the look of Larry Fletch thinking of Marlon Wayans is very good. It's a good observation. All around great calls for those two.
Let's stay on the beach with Creasy.
So Creasy, I decided to again have that look, thin, kind of tall, maybe a little strung out. So I went with.
I think looks the part is going to be like the condition for Creasy for all of us.
So I went with Finn Wolfhard.
Oh my God, Jake! I almost did the same thing.
Yeah, I just think he's great,
just because of the age and everything, right?
Yeah, from Stranger Things, he was in the new Ghostbusters.
James, he plays Mike on Stranger Things.
Oh, the main kid. Okay.
Yeah, the main kid on Stranger Things. Yeah.
Yeah, he was in the new Ghostbusters movie.
Oh my God, he was almost my choice, and I thought that maybe someone else might do it. So I did a last second, looks the part, looks like a strung out wacko. Don't understand how he gets Kim Kardashian, Pete Davidson.
Oh my God, I went Pete Davidson too.
Oh my God.
I'm glad I went first.
That is a great pick. I never even thought of that.
Just want to prove it to Jake.
Yes, I see it.
Looks like he needs sleep.
Yeah, he looks like he's got like a serious case of insomnia.
I was thinking we could piggyback off of Pete Davidson's current popularity right now too.
Yeah.
All right, let's take it to the airport.
Oh, I can't wait to hear these picks.
And let's do Bud and Willy.
These have been my two favorite people to choose.
All right, Bob, then you go first.
Go first, Bob.
Willy first. Okay. Willy is Bo Star. I went with Patrick Warburton.
Yes. He's got the dead stare.
I think, Putty from Seinfeld. Or what the hell do you need ball bearings for?
Excellent choice.
No one's going to notice. No one's going to see any muck on these windows.
Right.
What are you talking about? He's just that very serious, voice and everything. I think he's the guy.
Very good call.
For Bud, this is where, again, I started getting a little weird. Specifically, this actor is playing the only character he's known playing. I went with John Heater, Napoleon Dynamite, but specifically playing the Napoleon Dynamite character.
That's one of my favorites.
Where he's like, probably Fletcher. I don't know why. Him and Patrick Warburton have nothing in common with each other, but I just thought that he would have been, okay, I'll check it out. Kind of playing that Napoleon Dynamite character. I thought that he was the one I came up with.
Such a funny movie that I feel like gets forgotten about. It was.
I watch it anytime it's on. I watch it.
You do? Oh, I should watch it again.
Yeah, it's a stop and watch. Like when you see it on TV, you'll leave it on in the background.
All right, LJ.
I went with sort of a familiar duo.
Mm-hmm.
I did not do that, but go on.
I cast Seth Rogen as Bud and Bill Hader as Willy. I went with the super bad combo.
Oh yeah.
Oh man, that's a good call. Yeah. It's always a good idea to kind of cast people that play off each other well historically. Have worked together in the past. It's
sort of I sort of was a little head nod to Greg Mottola, and at the same time, I felt like when you saw the two of them at the same time, it would be like, oh, these guys are great.
Yeah, in Superbad, they played the cop duo together so well.
They're so funny.
Yeah.
And I kind of went that too. So I went Bud, Will Ferrell.
Oh my God.
And Willie John C. Reilly.
Oh man. I have shit the bed on. I like the characters I chose, but man, I did not think of the duo.
Very good.
I should have. Oh, that's a great choice too.
I mean, Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Can you ask for anything better than Step Brothers?
No, you can't.
And to see them two as airplane mechanics, can you imagine? Oh my gosh! So Bud is Will Ferrell and Willy is John C. Reilly. So okay, yeah,
that's good.
I think so. I think that out of those two, that John C. Reilly is the more kind of dopey comedic. To Will Ferrell's more serious straight man. Yeah, man, those are great.
Yeah, I can see Will Ferrell doing the okay, yeah.
Told you. Him pulling all those off.
Absolutely. Great calls. Staying with the airport, let's go with Stanton Boyd again.
All right, Jake, why don't you start with this?
So Stanton Boyd, I went with someone very stoic, very serious, still around today. I went with Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh, man.
Damn it.
Good call. I have him on as another character.
Oh, I think I know which character you have him as.
So there's my for the Stanton Boyd.
Who do you got, Laker Jim?
I actually have nobody. So I couldn't think of anybody for this role. It's the one I couldn't think of anybody for.
Well, I had a tough time too thinking of somebody, so I went with more of a tribute to someone we recently lost, and I went with Bob Saget.
Oh, okay.
You know, I wanted to somehow get Bob Saget on this because I love Bob Saget so much, and I'm sad that we lost him. And I thought that, again, wouldn't be the serious. It would be a different spin on that scene, but I think that he would be able to kind of play that role deadpan but funny. And like you, Laker Jim, I couldn't think of anybody, so I thought this is the place where we kind of stick Bob Saget into the movie.
What if I threw this role to Kurt Russell? That since I have I have Kate Hudson, as her, as kind of like her stepdad, this would be like her father-in-law.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'll throw the role to Kurt Russell. It just goes.
Kurt Russell plays that I can't believe this kind of thing, very well.
Right. Flabbergasted almost, yeah.
Yeah. Like in the Guardians of the Galaxy 2, he can't believe how much his son just doesn't want to be involved in his, evil plan, So yeah, I could see it. Yeah.
All right, see, I thought.
Good job.
So the chief.
Here's where I went Tommy Lee Jones with it.
Oh, I see it. Yeah, I could definitely.
I had a feeling you were going with Tommy Lee Jones.
Southern, gritty,
evil. Can
evil,
be really bad.
Yeah. I mean, like
looking for a man on the run with the fugitive. Yeah,
that's right.
Mm-hmm. Or
but even like old modern day Tommy Lee Jones is a badass.
I could picture him walking into the Stanwyk mansion. Greetings, everyone. I could picture that really well.
Mm-hmm. Who do you have, Bob?
I almost went Ray Liotta, but I went with a very scary Revenge of the Nerds coach, John Goodman.
Oh.
John Goodman was terrifying. They made I don't know if you guys ever saw 10 Cloverfield Lane, but he was legitimately terrifying in that movie.
The monster movie.
Yeah. And you couldn't believe how scary he was in that movie. And he wasn't even he wasn't even the monster. The monster was an alien, but he was so scary in that movie. And I thought, man, like John Goodman in Nerds as the coach. I had a terrifying coach in high school, and he was a pretty scary coach to have to play for. And I thought that he'd be a scary, much like when I went with Thomas F. Wilson, the bully side of it. He would be scary to have to oppose you, especially when he's got a badge and a gun.
I went with someone who is evil, who I could see pointing a gun at you in a jail cell. I went with Robert De Niro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Talking to me.
Very cool. And then just ratcheting up the evil really quick.
Yeah.
I can see him saying, stab myself in the arm. I could see him doing all that.
Kind of like a Cape Fear version.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I see it. I definitely see it.
So I'll do Marvin and Velma.
Okay.
So I went with someone who I thought could play off really well that's older now. Marvin, I went Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges.
Absolutely. I can't miss with Jeff Bridges in anything.
Yeah. And for Velma, Sally Field.
You're not going to fucking believe this, Jake. And I have it on paper. My Velma is Sally Field. And underneath it, I just wrote Gump Mom. I don't know why. I might have, this might be the weirdest pick out of anybody's picks on any of these lists. For my Marvin Stanwyk, maybe because I had Chick Hearn in a very strange role in the 80s, I just wrote Bill Belichick. I don't know why. Just like, no nonsense, not going to smile, not going to find any humor in anything. I don't know why I did that. It was, I think, a late night decision, but yes, the Sally Field thing is just unreal that we both chose that. And I don't know why Bill Belichick, but I just picture him being actually in like the cutoff Patriots shirt, like being pissed off that he's being inconvenienced. She makes unusual lemonade. Who do you got, Laker Jim? Sally Field, huh?
Okay,
Jim.
so for Marvin, I went with Dick Van Dyke.
Oh, yeah. Man, he looks like he would play that. Yeah,
he
absolutely.
looks like the part.
Dick Van Dyke on a hot day with unusual lemonade is really perfect casting. Yeah. Velma,
I could not get this woman out of my head, and I didn't even ever watch this show.
Sally Field?
Sally Field. No, I went with Shirley Jones from the Partridge Family, the mom from the Partridge Family.
I don't think I know who that is.
I know who you're talking about, and I could see it.
Yes, and here's what I really wanted to do. What I really wanted to cast here, but I just didn't think it fit, was Joan Collins. I wanted to cast Joan Collins as sort of an ode to the book. It's Gail Stanwyk's real name in the book. Right. I would have loved to cast Joan Collins, but I didn't think that worked here. So I went with Shirley Jones from the Partridge Family.
Love it.
Oh, I know who Shirley Jones is now that I'm looking her up. Yeah, I got.
Okay.
Who do you have for Underhill? Coming off the 7 days of Underhill.
All right, listen. Again, after the Bill Belichick thing, I think at this point that was really getting weird. This is kind of like I'm going to take this character in a totally different direction. I went with Liam Neeson and also I went with like the story then turns into now he wants revenge against Fletch for this trespass against him, and he's furious. And for the rest of the movie, Fletch has to be looking over his shoulder because Liam Neeson could be around any corner ready to take Fletch out.
Right. His lunch bill and or credit card was taken.
Yeah. Don't let me cast after 2 a.m. I don't know what goes on in my brain, but yeah, that's where I went.
Who do you have, Jake?
So I went with someone that Bob picked earlier. I went with J.K. Simmons as Underhill. I just thought that he would be perfect.
Great cast.
Very angry. I could see him banging on the door. Kind of even looks like him a little bit. So yeah, J.K. Simmons is Underhill.
Absolutely.
I went with, again, I don't know this guy's name. I went with the dad from that 70s show.
Oh, Kurtwood Smith.
Oh, Kurtwood Smith.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. He looks
just like him, and he's always angry.
The big forehead.
Oh, I love that pick.
Angry,
I love that pick.
Yeah.
Hey, Stanwyk, some dumbass charged a lot of money.
Oh man, that's a good pick.
Oh, I'm glad you guys like that one.
Yeah.
All right.
Actually, maybe the best pick out of all. Better than Liam Neeson.
All right. So Jellyfinger. Who we got for Jellyfinger?
Bob, who do you have?
I don't know why. I just wrote The Rock. I just thought it would be funny if, like, instead of it being like an old scared old man, it's like The Rock behind you, and you're like scared out of your mind because he's so massive and you don't know what he's about to do back there. And instead of Jellyfinger, you just got like a rock fist going up your ass, and it hurts even more.
Very intimidating. Very intimidating.
I like outside the box stuff. I went with the dad from Step Brothers.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know his name.
Oh, yeah. Good character.
He's so good in everything. I would have loved to. I could see him just strapping on the rubber glove.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
I don't care if you're going to put your bunk beds together. You would think you'd be preparing for your job interview tomorrow. Gosh. So I went with Keaton. I thought Michael Keaton would be a funny Jellyfinger.
Ooh. Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
Like he has like a bat belt with all like the jelly,
and the
gloves.
I swear to God, I just pictured him snapping the glove.
Breathe easy.
He's like, "You want to get nuts? Come on."
Oh man.
Do you have a modern day Bobby?
Yeah, I actually picked Millie Bobby Brown.
Oh
yeah,
okay.
That's a great call.
That's a really good one.
Things again. Yeah.
All right, let's go to the phone. Let's go to the phones. Here's Tracy's from South Carolina. Let's see what he says.
Hey, this is Tracy from South Carolina, the #1 FletchCast fan in the world. I was calling in because I would like to see the teenager in the original Fletch movie, who was played by David Harper, recasted with Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I think he would do an excellent job.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Finn pops up again.
Finn Wolfhard. Okay, I like it.
Not a character that we thought about, but one that's fun to imagine.
Good job, Tracy.
All right, let's check back in with Ryan Novak, who killed it last week with his 85 picks. Let's see who he recasted for 2022.
Hello, Laker Jim and the crew of FletchCast. This is Ryan Novak, calling from Arizona. All right. Obviously, we're going to do a comedy, so Fletch, Jason Sudeikis, Stanwyk, Bradley Cooper, Gail, Elizabeth Banks, Frank, Albert Brooks.
Oh, gosh.
Larry Cat Jennings. I always like her anytime she pops up on stuff, and I think she'd be great as kind of somebody who works with Fletch and looks up to him and obviously has a crush on him. Gillett, Brian Huskies. Dude, you just see around a lot of stuff. Fat Sam, Craig Robinson.
Oh, God. He would love Craig Robinson.
Ooh, yeah.
Gummy, I thought let's flip things a little bit and do Pete Davidson.
That's so funny.
Castmate worked for the Milan a lot of sketches. I think they'd be great as the beat characters. For Bud and Willy, Bud, Zach Galifianakis. He plays that good-natured guy really well. Willy, Nick Offerman from Parks and Rec. Serious dude.
Two great picks.
Kind of on to Fletch from the start. Choose Karlin, Willem Dafoe.
Ooh.
Dafoe just has that sinisterness to him. Stanton Boyd, Robert De Niro.
Okay.
Marvin and Velma. Go with the little stunt casting, Ted Danson and Mary Steenburgen.
Okay.
Underhill, Ed Harris. Again, good character actor, but a guy that looks like he's flying over in a moment. Bobby Sidney Sweeney from Euphoria and White Lotus, and Dr. Jellyfinger, John Goodman. I love the podcast. Take care. Be good. Bye.
Great job, Ryan.
Wonderful work.
Great.
Wonderful work.
I liked his Stanwyk. Bradley Cooper would be a great choice too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And who was his modern day Fletch?
Sudeikis.
So Sudeikis again, almost my choice for someone else for Stanwyk. I thought I said, but it could have been Fletch as well, which we all know we said that in the past. So, man, all around, I think that a lot of thought was put into this, and I would love to hear whether it's via Twitter, Instagram, or our phone line. Anybody that wants to call in and follow up, and feel free to give us your list. We want to
or give us your opinions on our lists.
Right.
Yeah. I know I messed up on Belichick, but I nailed Sally Field.
Wait a minute. Are we still talking about the list? What do you mean?
Well, that wraps up this episode of FletchCast. Thank you so much for listening. This was a lot of fun. Hopefully for you guys scoring at home, you did your own list and you compared it with ours, and hopefully we all came up with some great names. Even since recording this episode, we've come up with even more names, maybe better people to fill the roles. So we might have to do a recast again in the future. So for Jacob Bob, I'm Laker Jim. We finished this up with just enough time to catch the last 10 minutes of Dynasty.
See ya.
See ya.